Hello, uglies! Today, as promised, I will be discussing the highs and lows of Dragula Titans 2. This will be my last Dragula Titans video, I promise. And this is done in collaboration with my good Judy Anastasia Page Milano. You may know her from Dragula Season 2. I've linked her account in the comments, so please go check her out and give her a follow. She will also be sharing the strengths and weaknesses of Titans 2, so it'd be interesting to see where we differ and where we agree. As always, I have a lot to say, so without further ado, let's get into it. Let's start off with the strengths of Titans 2. And the biggest strength is the cast. This is the first Dragula season in history to have the largest cast, and that includes regular seasons. We saw 14 monsters fighting it out for the title of Dragula's Next Drag Super Monster. And I have to say, all 14 of them were worthy of the title Titan. It was a cast that really got fans excited. It was also a cast that had people saying pre-season, oh, they want as much drama as humanly possible. Because when you think of Jade Jolie, La Zavaleta, Abora, JK, Dahlia Black, and Cynthia all in the same room, you're picturing chaos, and rightly so. And the drama definitely fired on all cylinders. Now, do I believe all of it was organic? No. Some of it felt played up for the cameras, but I don't think that's a bad thing if it's entertaining. Some of the drama, however, went too far, with Zavaleta and Jade being disqualified, and Dahlia Black presenting herself as a liability with the whole wellness check thing. One thing is for sure, Jade, Zava, and Dahlia will never be asked back by the Boulets again. Continuing to focus on the cast, this season we had some amazing redemptions. Not just the drag, but the audience's perceptions of. For example, a lot of people were not happy to see Abora return. But by the end, they were one of the most popular to take the crown. And I spoke about this a lot in my original vs. Titans season video that you should go check out. But Abora really took their third chance seriously, pushing themselves beyond their physical and mental capabilities, literally. They really wanted to show that they had changed. And if you watch Abora on Titans season 1, it's a completely different person. And I love that. Their storyline is one of my favorite things about Titans 2. JK also had a huge redemption in the drag department. Yes, the finale package wasn't up to par, but the rest was. He also took the competition more seriously, letting us know how badly he wanted to win. I think he should be very proud of his efforts. Obviously, they also improved on the final crowning from Titan Season 1. Instead of just seeing a portrait of the winner, we saw Victoria crown Eva's resurrected corpse. It still wasn't a grand moment, but it was better. And speaking of Eva, I do think her winning was the right choice. She worked the hardest and took big risks like evaporating Sigourney. I really respect how Eva played the game this time around, and the level of performance plus the artistry in their drag. Regarding the structure of Titans 2, I like that they didn't decide to reinvent the wheel. Each challenge was a throwback to a past one from previous seasons, and I respected that. It was fun revisiting certain floor shows such as the Holiday of Horrors, the Gothic Wedding, etc. Presenting a finale package on the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse was very cool. Overall, Titans 2 was very entertaining, and I truly did look forward to new episodes each week. But having said all of that, it's time to get into the negatives. I do prefer Titans Season 1, mainly because it was very floor show and artistry based. Titans 2, in my opinion, had far too many performance challenges. I do think there was an overkill of them, and I was starting to get tired of it. Titans 1 was more streamlined as well. It was tighter and punchier. Titans 2 was all over the place. I think with a cast that large and chaotic, it couldn't not be. But also because of that, it's not as rewatchable. I personally think it was a little bit too ambitious to have such a large cast. Because as I'm about to mention, a lot of the contestants didn't get their own storylines or any sort of breakout moments. You may notice that I didn't mention the Hellbound Showdown in the positives. And that's because it's a negative. I personally don't think it was very successful. It always felt far too rushed, tacked at the very end of each episode. Now, I don't like to compare Dragula to Drag Race, but what I do wish they had done was made the Hellbound Showdown its own episode, sort of like All-Star 6. Furthermore, I did not agree with everybody that advanced to the next round. I think Priscilla beat Blackberry, and I think Blackberry beat Sigourney. And speaking of Priscilla, most fans agreed that she didn't deserve to be part of that double elimination. Priscilla had been able to work her way back into the competition via the Hellbound Showdown. It might have been worth it, but she didn't, and I have to say justice for Priscilla. Now let's talk about another travesty that won't really resonate with you if you're a newer fan, but as an OG fan, Loris and Frankie Doom being exterminated back to back in the very beginning was abhorrent. It was really upsetting to me. We had great representation from season 1 and we barely got to spend any time with either of them. I wish they'd made it further or at least be featured more. And that critique goes hand in hand with the episodes being quite short. I was really surprised at the runtime given the extensive cast. As I said before, I think the whole thing was too ambitious, and maybe if they had done the Hellbound Showdown as a separate episode, we might have got some more time with Frankie, some more time with Loris. They could have made it a whole thing, where we don't just see them perform, but we sort of revisit them, see how they're going, get to hear more about how they felt about being eliminated early. The final negative that I'm going to touch on is regarding Sigourney. I did discuss this a little bit in my Titans vs. Original Season video, but I guess a lot of fans went into this season thinking it was hers to win, myself included. We expected a full-blown domination, and what we got was quite different. I'm forever a Sigourney fan, okay? I love her, but I have to admit that she didn't really deliver like I was expecting her to. And that pertains to both her updated drag package and her run on the show. She did get a challenge win, or a half win, as JK put it. But I guess I was sort of expecting her to get the run that Eva got, and she didn't. Plus, there was the whole shooting herself in the foot thing in the cauldron. And also, that final lip sync at the Last Supper was quite disappointing. I don't know, maybe it's my fault for picturing something in my head and then being disappointed when it didn't deliver, but I would love to know what you think about this. And so, my friends, what positives and what negatives did I not mention? Let's have a respectful chat in the comments. Also, don't forget to check out Anastasia's video. I have no idea how she felt about this season, but I can't wait to find out. And just go follow her in general because she's an icon. I'm super excited for Dragula Season 7, and I hope that when we get a Titans 3, it is much more streamlined. I do think that they are going to take the critiques and improve on it. But as always, give me all the tea, and I'll see you very soon for another video.